Stocks are also up this morning after a new consumer price index report showed prices ticked up less than expected last month. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says CPI rose by 0.2% in July at 2.7% annually. The Fed closely monitors this data point as a key inflation gauge when weighing interest rate decisions. So after that report dropped, President Trump took to Truth Social to once again criticize Fed Chair Jerome Powell. He says Powell must now lower the rate and that the economy is, quote, so good. The next Fed meeting is a little more than a month away. So let's bring in CBS News MoneyWatch correspondent Kelly O'Grady at the New York Stock Exchange. Always a trusted voice to get me through all of these financial headlines. Can you break down where inflation stands in the U.S. right now, my friend?
Yes, high praise. I will try and live up to it, my friend. So basically, we came in at 2.7%. That is the annual headline consumer price index number. And that was the same as the prior report. So we're not getting closer to that 2% target that we've talked about that the Federal Reserve wants to see inflation get to, but we didn't increase. And a big reason why we didn't see an increase is because energy prices have been dropping. And that's really been a theme that you have seen month after month save a pop when things were heating up between Israel and Iran over in the Middle East. That being said, you strip out food and energy and you do see what we call the core inflation rate tick up above 3%. It hit 3.1%, and that's compared to 2.9%. So a little bit of a jump there. And you can really see the impact of tariffs in a few different areas like furniture, footwear, things that we get from overseas. So it is not a broad, major increase from tariffs, but economists are warning that might be coming because we have seen tariff rates increase. Remember, we saw a major step change last week go into effect, even with countries that we do have deals with. So more to come there. But investors are happy with this, and I would characterize this as a tamer than expected inflation report.
All right, but we also know there's a new commissioner at the Bureau of Labor Statistics coming up the pike. How could that affect the landscape, Kelly?
Yeah, so this is interesting because, of course, there was all of the hubbub around the BLS commissioner being fired after that weaker than expected jobs report. And I will note the BLS actually puts this report that we're talking about together. They do a lot of inflation reports, but the new nominee that the president has announced is E.J. Antoni. He is an economist at the Heritage Foundation. And prior to making that announcement that this was his nominee, I want to quote you from an interview that E.J. did with Fox Business. Again, this was prior to his nomination. He said, quote, until it is corrected, the BLS should suspend issuing the monthly jobs report, but keep publishing the more accurate, though less timely, quarterly data. Major decision makers from Wall Street to D.C. rely on these numbers, and a lack of confidence in the data has far-reaching consequences. So we haven't heard from him in regards to what he might change if confirmed as the BLS commissioner. But we do know that EJ has been very, very critical of how the data has been collected in the past. And he's not alone. A lot of economists had said, we need better data. We don't need people getting calls and having to respond to that data because there is a bit of a lag there. So more to come, but just some interesting comments and a sort of a window into the point of view that perhaps this next BLS commissioner might take forward.
Well, President Trump also, Kelly, we know, signed that executive order yesterday that delays higher tariffs on China for another, 90 days. So what's behind that move? And do you see that as affecting the markets today?
It's definitely affecting the markets. Investors are happy about that inflation report, happy about the fact that these two sides are going to keep negotiating and not escalate into a trade war as of yet. What's behind it? We know that the White House, as well as the Chinese, do feel like they were making progress and they just need more time. These things don't happen overnight. And I'll note the deal between these two sides back under President Trump's first term took over a year to negotiate by the end of it.
All right, Kelly O'Grady wearing that green jacket, the color of money there on Wall Street. We appreciate so much getting a chance to talk to you. Have a great day, friend.